for you now. This is Arigoto. Again, it's the same game, and my mouth is not moving anymore. Such a vibing song, not gonna lie. Somehow this is now my theme song. Like a lot of people is associating it with me now. Some people would hear it and be like, "Oh, it's the Arigoto theme." It's not. It's not mine. But I mean, I've been using it for a really long time. But anyways, welcome to the stream, Google man. I have two things to say. First, I really need my coffee. But I was drinking tea already, so I couldn't make coffee. I had to wait. So I guess I'm gonna play for a bit and then I'm gonna go make coffee. Maybe in like 10, 15 minutes or something. But yeah, we'll see. Other than that, let's continue. Omi died yesterday. It's from a Roblox game called Doors, if I remember correctly. Yeah. It's from a Roblox game called Doors that I will never play. I will never play. Because I don't play Roblox. And I don't want to. But yeah, Omi died yesterday. And as I've expected, Saya's not human. She's an actual monster. That's why we see her as human. Apparently, the agnosia we have just flipped everything. But what in on the hallucination is this fleshy? Oh yeah, I didn't see that. This is how it looks when it's uncensored. This is literally my house entrance. This is how he sees things. I think I've changed the. I've took off the sensor right after you left. And I've seen a lot of awful things. Oh yeah, and turns out this game was a hentai visual novel. Yeah, I didn't know. Like, bro, if you checked yesterday's stream, exactly at the timestamp 1 hour 39 minutes, starting from there, you are gonna see where the cut was. And God, that was a really awkward moment. But yeah, alright, I think I'm gonna continue now. Omi died. That's all you need to know for now. Are you talking about the guy that been mewing since the start of the game? Yeah, I think. Omi, I don't know what you're talking about. Specify your question, please. The delays here is really bad. I bit the bullet and tried to take the train, but the rush hour crowds were so bad that I had to get off halfway and walk. I don't want to imagine how rush hour looks like on his eyes. I'm running pretty late. Is Sai worried? I hope she's not mad. Nah, she's pretty happy. She just eaten someone. Oh yeah, that guy. That's us. That's the protagonist. Oh my god, that's the entrance. When I enter the yard, I realize that the front door has been left wide open. Oh. Wait, how would that look in his eyes? Light from the living room is seeping out into the hallway, and I hear what sounds like someone smacking their lips. There is also a tantalizing fragrance in the air. Is it Saya? I consider calling out to her, but decide to enter in silence instead. Something smells strange, though not unpleasant. The aroma is quite soothing, in fact. It reminds me of Saya's hair. This is a really bad condition. In fact, I was almost going to bed until I got a YouTube notification about a cool Zaragoza stream. And now I feel bad for you. A cool Zaragoza stream. It's just the same game from yesterday. I don't know, man. Alright, my mic is back. I've accidentally turned it off. But yeah, I didn't really want to stream today, to be honest. I don't, then I realized this is the case every day, so I just decided, you know what, let's just continue another day, another stream. Don't worry, it's my decision to stay here for a while. All right, enjoy your stay. At first, I'm surprised by what I see in the living room. The floor is covered with what looks like to be some kind of grass. Probably the source of the herb-like smell, and there are fruit or vegetable-like balls of varying size scattered everywhere. He's basically explaining how he sees actual human flesh.
Saya.
Oh yeah. That's Omi for sure. That Omi, and she's dead. And Sai is eating her. Why is it so loud all of a sudden? Sai turns around, her eyes wide with surprise. She then looks away, sheepishly, like a child caught at some prank.
何を食べてるんだい?
Your friend.
これはその
She stammers, so frustrated that I suddenly feel bad for sneaking up on her. Remembering that she has never eaten in front of me before, I realized that she must be quite embarrassed. My man, you don't know what she's eating, right?
一ついいかな?
No! I scoop up the closest food thing and pop it into my mouth, ignoring Sai's attempt to wave me off. It has a strange texture, soft and pliable, like a peach or a pear. When I bite into it with my back teeth, a succulent juice fills my mouth, combined with a sharp, strong fragrance. It's unlike everything I've ever tasted. He just turned into another one of those monsters because of his mental condition.
何か味付けとか調理してあるのかこれ?
Oh my god, he likes it!
調理ってほどのことは、さばいてからちょっと溶かして食べやすくしただけで、ほとんど生なんだけど。
That's why she never ate it in front of us before. What the hell am I playing? I pick up a different lump. This one consisting of fruity flesh and around a hard core. Tearing a chunk of it in my mouth, I find that it has a similar taste to the last one.
ねえ、大丈夫？それって。
Tell him! She's not gonna tell him, obviously. Because then he's gonna know that she eats people.
僕でも食べられる味だ。っていうよりうまいよ、これ。
Aha.
そうなの？
At first I looks dumbstruck, but then she bursts out laughing.
そうなんだ。ふみのりもこういうのが好きだったんだ。なんだ、あれこれ工夫して頑張ってた私がバカみたい。
Oh my god, now he's one of them. He's completely gone.
さやっていつもこういうものを食べてたのか。
Wait a minute. It's the hospital. What did they do in the hospital? 2:13 a.m. Here it's 3:13 a.m. Damn, I'm 1 hour above, huh? 1 hour in the future. Hey Will, you want me to tell you what you are gonna do? on the next we'll be doing on the next hour since I'm in the future now. I think I'm gonna sell. Yeah, I know. I know.
こんな大物は久しぶりだけどね。うん。近所の公園とかで取ってこれるやつ。
The nearby park. There's an impressive nature preserve not too far from here. I've never heard about fruits like these growing there, but well, of course they only look like fruits to me. They are really something else. You don't wanna know what it is?
ごめんね。一番美味しいところはさっきさやが全部食べちゃった。
Before I wish you a beautiful day and again goodbye till next time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Well, have a good rest of your day. Have a good night.
いいよ、また今度で。でもこれで明日から一緒に食事ができるね。
Saya seems really happy. I'm happy too, of course. Eating with someone is much more fun than eating alone, and it makes the food taste better too.
まだまだいっぱいあるし、食べきれない分は冷やせば2、3日は大丈夫だよ。ちょっと味は落ちるんだけどね。
じゃあ早めに片付けておこうか。
Sealing the small fruits in Tupperware and the large ones in pots and bowls. Sam and I store the remaining food in the refrigerator. Thinking of tomorrow's dinner fills me with anticipation. I feel that little by little I'm starting to regain the joy of living. You are not regaining it, you are just entering a whole new life with a whole new personality. Sai will guide me. With her, I can live on. The Scary Stories Hospital Edition. Eh? Okay, I really need to make my coffee. I can barely open my eyes now. I know this is a bit too early, but yeah, I couldn't make it before stream. Be right back.
Brain implosion, energy 10,000 grams of pure caffeine, cause you can overthink if your heart stops. Brain implosion, energy craves zero thoughts, one head empty, then drink and drink and drink until you drop. I love my brain implosion juice, it makes my head go. But will it stop the pain forever? I just can't be sure. Brain implosion, energy
Man, it doesn't matter how bad this coffee tastes like or how. Yeah, it doesn't matter how bad it tastes. This kick I get from this first sip is all I need for life. It's just this one sudden kick and here I am. I'm alive. Alright. Anyways, I'm awake now. So, True Scary Stories Hospital Edition. Chapter 4, The Monster in the Hospital. Chapter 4. I think I've skipped a couple of chapters. Hello, welcome to stream, Mahmoud. Damn, didn't expect you to show up this time. Totally unexpected. How you doing, man? It's really cool that you showed up on your own. No, it's fine, man. Yeah, welcome to the stream. You want an explanation to what the hell is happening with this game? Or you know it already? Please say you know it already. Stop for the monster in the hospital. A medical student relates his shocking experiences. Will you believe him or not? Gun pointed to your head. Who? Who's pointing the gun to your head? I can help you. I can save you. Strange. Things started happening at the hospital around the end of last spring. Strange things. It began with patients waking up in the middle of the night, screaming. They all spoke of terrifying nightmares, and many of them had to be sedated. Some patients even transferred to other hospitals because of it. I know Uta already. No Uta. Oh, where is Saya though? Are you playing with words or are you mean you actually don't know? The weird thing was that they had all had exactly they would all. Why can't I read? This doesn't work. Saya doesn't work with it. He's not joke. You don't know what's going on in the game? Huh. You need an explanation? Or you wanna figure it out on your own? The weird thing was that they all had exactly the same dream. A dream about some horribly disgusting monsters staring down at them from their bedside. I can't keep up, alright. If you had questions, ask me. I can't explain the whole game, but I can at least answer question by question until you get the full picture. But the real strange stuff started happening after that. There used to be a lot of stray cats around campus, looking for scraps from the students. The cats disappeared, or were found dead, or skeletons, right? One day the cats suddenly disappeared, and it wasn't that they had stopped coming. It was more like they had vanished from the area entirely. Yup. I'm taking so long because I sometimes I forget where should I start reading. And then people stopped walking their dogs around. According to the rumor, the dogs were refusing to go anywhere near the school. Eventually things started going missing in the hospital. Organs to be precise. Organs to be precise. I read it oranges at the beginning. Oh yeah, Mahmoud, since we have a medical student here, is there an actual mental illness that's called agnosia? I think that's how you read it. Agnosia. Agnosia. Is that a real thing? I don't think it's a real thing, or maybe it is, but the game just exaggerated it. It's like some kind of illusion. Someone's stealing orange in the hospital. Damn. That sounds more scary. Transparent organs kept disappearing from storage. People came close to losing their jobs over it. And it wasn't just 2 or 3 times that it happened. They tried to keep it from the student, but we heard it was a lot worse than that. What is the spelling again? Agnosia. Agnosia. People started saying that there was something living in the hospital. The janitors would find strange messes that could only have been made in the middle of the night. Traces of something that had crawled down the hallway, or weird stains caused by something dripping through the ceiling. Is Saya this small, even as a monster? Because it seems like she can sneak and hide really easily, even for a monster that's crawling, not even walking on legs. The late shift nurses talked about hearing strange noises in the same nights the patients walk screaming. So doesn't this say that, like, isn't that enough to tell you that there is something happening with this freaking hospital? There is one last story, one you can never mention inside the hospital. One day, the obstetric department went crazy. They said that a newborn had disappeared in the night. Okay, this might be really bad. Agnosia is basically a part of the brain stops working, which disrupts one of your senses. Does it include vision? Like, would it make you, instead of seeing people like normal people, would it make you see them like a pile of flesh and meat? Disgusting. And does it affect only one sense or all the senses all at once? Because basically the protagonist got in a car accident that damaged his brain and made him see everything around him seems like flesh and meat and blood, and it's disgusting. And he can't only see it, he can also smell it and touch it, even though it doesn't actually exist. Like, it affects all his senses. Of course, I think it's just the game exaggerated an actual illness. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure how far that goes. Man, we really needed you on yesterday's stream. Oh yeah, I didn't see the moment that a hentai cutscene caught me off guard, because apparently this game is a hentai game, and I didn't know until it was too late. You see normally, but the brain doesn't recognize anything, so it... Wait, let me first. Wait, here we go. I don't know, I felt like being Anigoto today. It's normal, but the brain doesn't recognize anything so is good enough imagination and anxiety. He can hallucinate monsters. He can hallucinate normal people as monsters, because I think that's what's happening on this game. There is one last story, one you can never mention inside the hospital. One day, oh yeah, I've seen this. A newborn baby would disappear. If that were true, the police would have come and it would have been all over the news. But they say the big shots managed to make it all go away. It's just a rumor, of course. Oh my god, the hospital is hiding it. It's not normally all the senses, I see. These strange incidents suddenly stopped forward the end of the summer, yeah, because she's now living with me. Now there are almost no patients complaining of nightmares, and the cats have started coming back to the campus. But still, what happened in the hospital that summer? Even now, just thinking about it gives me the creeps. But the protagonist have this illness that makes him see things.
ダメだ。
Oh yeah, she's not answering. She's dead, my mate. She's been eaten by your friend. This is the third day in a row that they haven't been able to get in touch with Omi. Why didn't they ask Fuminori? Like, that seems logical. There is no sign that she returned to her apartment, and even her family doesn't know anything. Her parents have already filled a missing persons report. Mio breathing is no. Nope.
まあ、
Don't
あ
know
い
what
つ
you're
の
talking
ことだ
about.
からな。何事もなかったみたいに、ひょっこり顔出しそうな気もするんだが。
Oh my god, I feel really bad for you, man.
だといいけど。
I hope so. Yo replies with a gloomy expression. She's worried about Omi, of course, but the incident with Fuminori 3 days ago must still be weighing on her as well. Yeah, she's been rejected 3 days ago. Horribly rejected. Yo hasn't seen Fuminori since then, and Fuminori hasn't made any effort to approach her or Koji. 4 people used to meet in this cafeteria between classes, but now there are only 2.
ねえ、殿くん、もう一度考えてみようよ。
Tono?
どこかオミちゃんの行きそうな場所に心当たりない？
His name is Koji. Is that his second name?
いや、一通りは確かめたしな。
It's a lie. Of course, Koji knows where Omi planned to go, that evening, but he doesn't want to bring Fuminori up in front of Yo. That's really considerate, but why didn't you even search there yourself? Their awkward silence is mercifully broken by the bell signaling the start of the next period.
じゃあ、俺行くわ。
うん。
Unless Koji is mistaken, Yo is supposed to have a class next period too, but she just sits there, staring off into space. I need to turn off my cursor. It's kind of annoying. Unable to come up with anything to say, he leaves the cafeteria reluctantly. Both Omi's disappearance and Yo's depression worry Koji, and both problems lead back to the exact same place.
海のりは一体。
What the hell is Fuminori doing? Fuminori is the protagonist, by the way, which is also basically us on the game. But like, he's the protagonist. That's all I can say. Like, he's not even a self-insert protagonist. When Omi went missing, the first thing he did was question Fuminori. After all, the last time he had seen her was just before she stormed off to give Fuminori a piece of her mind. So he did ask her. He did ask him. Obviously, Fuminori is not gonna know. He's not gonna realize that he was eating her. When responded with unequivocal denial and acted like he hadn't the slightest idea why Omi would have gone to see him. Perhaps that was only natural, as he was unaware that Omi and Koji had witnessed him reduce Yuh to tears. Does Fumikun hallucinate Saya, or Saya is real? Saya is real, but Saya is a flesh and meat monster, actually. Okay, basically the agnosia he have makes him see people around him, normal people, as flesh and meat monsters that looks really disgusting, really annoying, and even their talking is not this obvious. But God, I really want to switch to the second language. I can explain this to you in like 1 minute. Anyways, however, for some reason, when he was in the hospital, Sai was the only one who he could see normally. He could see her as a normal, cute little girl, and he asked her to live with him. And she accepted, and now he left the hospital. But turns out, Saya in real life is a monster. So apparently his agnosia just switched things, where he sees the only monster in the whole game as a normal human, and sees all the other humans as monsters. All clear? Oh yeah, and same for the food. He's really disgusted by the food, but now he was just eating. He basically he was just eating a person moments ago, and he felt like he was eating some fruits. He didn't even realize he was eating a person. Well, it's not okay just asking a girl to live with him. I mean, that's what he said. He said that might sound strange and everything, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. And she accepted it anyways. But yeah, he's far gone, because basically Saya is a human-eating monster, but Fuminori doesn't know. He sees her as a normal girl. And he don't know that the food he actually liked in a really long time is people. Good for him, she accepted. I don't know, man. Why is the stream lagging? Why are you lagging, mate? Why are you doing this? Like, come on. Right, should be fine now. Okay, what if I've done this and this? I close the camera, I choose the tracking mode, it's gonna be level 5 instead, and it's gonna camera on again, and then it's gonna work. It's definitely gonna work. It's definitely gonna work. Definitely gonna work. Okay, at this point I'm not even moving. Or it's working now. Any moment now. Alright, it's working. Oh my god, this tracking is so bad. Okay, I'm gonna go with it for now. It's still laggy though. Go smaller. I'm playing a visual novel, for God's sake. Why am I struggling to play a visual novel? It's gonna be a bit lower res, but yeah, better than nothing. Did we even make it to Fuminori's house? She had been riding a wave of emotion when she had left, and might have calmed down and changed her mind halfway there. Or perhaps she ran into trouble in the way. Why Why did I do that? Man, I really need to keep tissues next to me all the time. Like a proper streamer. It's gonna be fine. Continue. Koji concluded, or more accurately, convinced himself that one of these possibilities was the truth, subconsciously denying the one remaining possibility that Fuminori was lying, that he had met Omi and was involved with her disappearance. Why am I lagging even more now? Where is the config? Here you go. Even lower resolution. Alright, that's the best I can do. Almost captured. Alright. When questioned by the police, Koji told the truth about Omi's destination only up to the train station, maintaining that he had no idea where she had planned to go after that. He wanted to cooperate with the search, of course, but Omi couldn't have made it to Fuminori's house. Fuminori said so himself, didn't he? In that case, he had told the police everything they needed to know. Not wanting to get the still fragile Fuminori involved, he forced himself to accept this flimsy logic. But the conflict built up inside of him without his notice, leaving unanswered suspicion to fester in his mind. Welcome to stream FNC Mind. You just got mentioned on the game Mind. Koji is in deep thought, paying no attention to his surroundings, but perhaps that is what allows him to catch sight of his friend's back through the crowd of milling students.
Fuminori?
Oh, he saw him? At first, Koji assumed that he's headed to the lecture hall, but it soon appears that he's instead going home. Strange, medical students have required courses in the afternoon. Though he's initially surprised, Koji's hesitation lasts for only a second. He follows his friend, taking care to stay far enough behind that he won't be noticed. I think I need one more cup of coffee. Oh my god, he's following him. We're gonna lose the second one already. Fuminori isn't going home, as became obvious when he boarded a train heading in the outpost direction. Koji's next guess was that he was going to see the doctor at the T University Hospital, but Fuminori rode straight through the closest station.
どこに向かってる?
Oh my god, we're gonna lose Koji too. We're already losing Koji. At first, Koji felt ashamed for telling his friend like this, but his confidence fell silent as Fuminori's actions grew more mysterious. The stranger it gets, the closer Koji feels to discovering the truth behind Fuminori's sudden transformation. Any knowledge would be welcome, no matter how slight. Even Koji is beginning to think that there must be more behind Fuminori's change than the accident alone. He wants a more satisfying answer, one that will help him decide whether Fuminori can still be trusted. Fuminori gets off a small station in the nondescript suburb of Tokyo. Koji follows, trying not to lose sight of him amid the other disembarking passengers. Wait, Saya's not gonna show up in public, right? This is gonna make it too easy. She's not gonna accept this. The area is quite desolate, with only a small bookstore, a convenience store, and a market in front of the train station. It is easy for Koji to keep Fuminori in view. The neighborhood was carved out of the Fuji foothills, and here and there remained steep inclines and wooded areas that escaped assimilation. Koji is amazed that a quiet place exists less than an hour out of central Tokyo. What's he doing here though? Fuminori seems to know these streets. He moves quickly and purposefully through the suburban community, his eyes fixed straight ahead. I think Koji is gonna die immediately. I mean, if he died this fast, that explains why the game is 4 hours. Before long, Fuminori reaches a house without ringing the bell or even knocking. He opens the door and vanishes inside, leaving Koji to wonder how Fuminori can treat the house as his own. Wait, what house is this? What is he doing? After waiting to see if Fuminori comes back out, Koji approaches the gate and checks the nameplate. Ogai! Oh, the professor we are looking for! And Saya's father? I think it was her father. Yeah, he was her father, as she said. Koji has never heard of anyone by that name among Fuminori's acquaintances. Next, his attention is drawn to the thick wad of leaflets sticking out of the mail slot. This is coupled with the general dilapidated feel of the place, suggests that it has been abandoned for some time. A small playground about 2 blocks away provides an adequate vantage point from which to watch the front of the Ogai home. Fortunately, it does not appear to be the sort of house that has a rear exit. Koji settles down on a bench to begin his takeout. I should have brought more smokes. 1 hour passes and then another, but there remains no sign of movement around the Ogai residence. What is he doing here all this time? Soon twilight settles upon the neighborhood. After Koji's 1 pack of cigarettes runs out, the stakeout becomes a battle against mounting impatience. Single entrance, single exit. Yeah, then he never left, but what he's doing there? But he's not escaping if something comes to get him. He's not inside though. He's just watching from the outside. He kills time by redialing Omi on his call and sending her short text messages. but his efforts are futile as he knew they would be. When the sky begins to turn deep blue and the starlights come on, Fumidori finally emerges from the house and heads back toward the station with the same hurried stride. Alright, so what the hell is he doing there though? Also, are we gonna follow him or are we gonna just enter the house and see for ourselves? I don't recommend this because we might see the same fate as Omi. After some brief consideration, Koji decides that right now investigating the house is more important than tailing Fuminori. He rings the door. Okay, he actually did it. Koji, my man, I just predicted your death, and you are going exactly as I said. He rings the doorbell, but just to make sure. After receiving the expected silence in response, he checks to make sure no one is watching and turns the doorknob. The door is not locked. If he died on this scene, I'm gonna end the stream here, just like I did on yesterday. When he enters the house, stale air thick with mold and dust fills Koji's nostrils. Yep, he obviously goes in because why would he have any survival instincts? Yeah, because it's a freaking horror visual novel. Why would he have any? It is the unmistakable smell of house that had no long lain untouched. There is also a faint hint of something else in the air, something reminiscent of damp sewers and fetid cisterns. Flipping the light switch does nothing. The power must be cut off. He uses his cigarette lighter to illuminate the immediate area. In the thick dust covering the floor, he sees several brand new trails of footprints that could only have been made by shoes for Minori's. Koji decides to follow suit and dispense with courtesy. He enters with his shoes on. The lighter's flickering flame pushes back the deathly silence and gloom of the house. Koji is surprised to see evidence of life remaining. Everything from furniture to tableware and appliances. Nothing seems to be missing. I want to give up on reading. The thickness of the dust suggests that the house has been empty for several months, which means that the owner must have left with little more than clothes on his back. Could he have gone on a long vacation? The calendar on the din is still turned to April. Empty and silent, yet still exhibiting signs of the life that once lived there. The house reminds Koji of a passenger ship entombed in the bottom of the sea, in the graveyard-like quiet. A sinister thought suddenly enters his mind. No one's living here, but that does not have to mean that the owner lived. Maybe he was murdered and his rotting corpse is right under Koji's feet. Why you think if you are thinking like that, why staying there? Just leave. I've been screaming the same words to Omi before she dies. He finds himself wanting a stronger light. A flashlight in his hand would make him feel much better. Koji follows Fujinori's footsteps to the second floor, where he begins to catch the scent of paper in the still air. It is the smell of old books, instantly recognizable to anyone who has worked on an antique bookstore or library. The first room on the second floor turns out to be a study. Its towering shelf is packed with such a vast number of books that Koji fears to the stability of the floor. As a medical student himself, he... Oh yeah, they are medical students, by the way, all of them. I think you should have played this game instead. As a medical student himself, he is able to discern at a glance this study belongs to a medical professional and a high level one at that. Judging by the content of the books, a smorgasbord of technical volumes far beyond simple students' understandings. The owner's interests lie more with the medical research than the clinical practice. Whoever must spend most of his time here. The scattered dust suggests that he was searching for anything that the contents of the desk drawers are obvious disarray. Are an obvious disarray. I can't read anymore. If Fumi is a med student, it will make sense he hallucinates gore. Oh my god, actually, I think you're right. A small pile of books stacked on the side table catches his eye. Being next to the desk, they must have been the most frequently read. Their nature could shed some light on the character of the person who worked there. Koji frowns as he examines the three books. These aren't scientific texts like the rest, but old leather-bound Western tomes like the sorts you would find in a rare bookstore. The titles are meaningless to him. Tritides Shivers appears to concern semiotics, but Ars Magna et Ultima is some kind of treatise on divination. I can't understand. Is this normal that I don't understand those, or I'm just too sleepy and too tired to understand? And then there is the Voynich manuscript, which look like some sort of picture book. When he pages through it, he finds the text utterly incomprehensible. Maybe it's some kind of cipher. Whatever they are, they clearly have nothing to do with medicine, refuting Koji's earlier guess that this Ogai was a doctor. Looking down, Koji suddenly noticed the glint of something black and metallic underneath the chair. A pocket-sized flashlight. Okay, nice. That's French and Dutch, I think, yeah. That explains a lot. It's normal you struggle reading them. I don't know, man, I'm barely keeping my eyes open. I don't think the coffee did anything at this point. A pocket-sized flashlight, quite out of place among all these dusty books. We must have brought it in. With you, Koji exchanges his lighter with the flashlight. Its tiny body emits a powerful white beam that casts away the darkness. His courage restored, he decides to explore the rest of the house. GG.
Hmm?
Oh no! What did he find? Something strange, something that was not visible in the lighter's weak flame. Slime! The slime. Dark oily stains are everywhere. The stains are especially thick around the doorknobs and stair banisters, like someone grasped them with hands wrapped in greasy cloth. Looking closer, he sees places where slime was splashed low in the walls. almost as if a wet mob was run violently across the floor. That's Saya. Could Olga have made these marks? If so, how? Koji begins to feel sick as he imagines a man shambling through the house with slime dripping from his body. Wait, but Saya wasn't with Fuminori. If so, Koji would have saw her. Was she on the house already? Oh my god, that means she is on the house now. Finding the bedroom next to the study, Koji checks the closet on the hunch. He discovers two empty suitcases. Not what one would leave behind when going on long vacations. A sudden chill runs through him. Whoever is living here is still somewhere inside the house. If you feel that they are somewhere inside the house, then shouldn't you leave? Suppressing the urge to flee, Koji goes back downstairs to check the first floor. If he finds a corpse, he will have to call the police right away. He might get away with trespassing if he reports it first. Self-report. But if they find a body later, it will be awfully hard to explain his fingerprints all over the house. Vasha reveals the den to be covered in even more slime than the rest of the house. The sofa looks as though it was dredged from the bottom of a swamp. In the kitchen, Koji takes one look at the sink and decides not to get any closer. He doesn't want any more fuel for his imagination. He reaches the door to the bathroom. A common scene from TV dramas flashes through his head. A body with slit wrists floating in the bathtub full of water. Koji, my man, you even know the cliches and you still entered the house? And wasn't there a movie where a hitman disposes of his victim in a bathtub filled with lye? Koji braces himself for the worst and opens the door slowly, then shines his light into the ceramic bathtub that appears from the darkness like a white ghost. Oh damn, there is nothing. Oh damn, there is something! Bones, a mountain of bones, black with dry flesh and blood. Koji puts one hand against the wall to steady himself as his legs threaten to buckle. Something is wrong, he realizes as he tries desperately to get his thoughts in order. The bones are too small, and there are too many of them. Cat's bones. They aren't human. After taking several deep breaths to calm himself, Koji enters the bathroom and examines the top. I don't like this angle. This is someone's about to die angle. After taking several deep breaths to calm himself, Koji enters the bathroom. Bones are piled up each other like fallen leaves. They appear to be from small animals, perhaps cats or dogs. Even so, the quantity is mind-boggling. How many bodies would it take to produce this many bones? The bones have all been separated from one another, so it doesn't look like bodies were just thrown into the top and left rot. Each bone is covered with deep grooves, marks left by teeth biting through flesh. BGM changes, yeah. He is gonna die. Bro's done. Completely die. This is the exact angle Omi had. He's gonna die. He's gonna see her soon. Koji's sanity won't let him consider the possibility that a human could have done this. The owner of this house must have kept some sort of carnivorous animal as a pet, giving it the bones of small animals to eat and disposing of the remains in the bathtub. But why not dispose of the leftovers properly? They could have just been thrown with the garbage, or was there something keeping him from leaving the house? The relief Koji felt when he realized that the bones weren't human is once again under attack. In the first place, what the hell was Fumidori doing here?
どうしたコウジ。
That's even worse. That's even worse. What's he gonna do? Bruce spawned behind him. Did he know? Koji whirls around, his light revealing Fumidori's expressionless
不
face.
法侵入だぞコウジ。
You are trespassing too?
お前だって同じだろうが。
Koji replies, barely managing to speak over the pounding of his heart. Fumidori pushes past Koji and looks into the bathtub. He doesn't even flinch at the sight of the bone.
僕はこの家の人と知り合いなんだ。頼まれて探し物をしに来ただけさ。
Oh, he's just explaining it properly.
知り合いっていつから？一体何者なんだ？
Koji doesn't want to believe that the old friendly Fumidori could have had contact with the denizens of this house.
いずれお前にも紹介するよ。僕の恩人とも言える人だから。
Oh my god, he's gonna die.
おい、文則！
Koji runs after Fumidori. His heart is finally beating normally
お前
again.
まさか近頃様子がおかしいのはその知り合いっていうやつのせいなんじゃ。
Yeah, kinda. Sitting on the entrance, Fumidori glares coldly at Koji over his shoulder. The utter lack of emotion in his eyes gives Koji pause. Koji, please leave. At
僕
least
の
you
後
stay
をつけ
alive.
てきたんだねコウジ。
Koji swallows. What can he say?
そういうのは迷惑だ。二度とやらないでもらいたい。
ああ。
Is this gonna be it? Moira walks away without another word, leaving Koji alone in the entrance. Up until this very moment, concern for his friend still at the far front of his mind. Now, however, the concern is swiftly giving way to growing sense of dread. Does the Fumidori he knew no longer exist? Was the person who just stared Koji down an imposter wearing Fumidori's skin? Koji has begun to believe that it might be so. Then give up and leave, Koji. Oh yeah, so that's how Fumidori sees things. This is a house entrance, by the way. But yeah, it looks like Koji's gonna be alive for another day. Hopefully for the rest of the game. Where is it? How can I save? I've seen his perspective before. Wait, what do you mean? You have agnosia too? Open save load. I always forget which one is it. Alright, let me save and hell no. Yeah, I thought so. That would have been awful, imagine. I saw at the start of the game. Oh. Alright. Why am I changing my place every time I turn to this screen? Yeah, I know I'm finishing a bit too early today, but I am so tired. I was waiting for something to happen. Thankfully, nothing happened, but at the same time, unfortunately, nothing happened. So it's gonna be a really boring ending for the stream. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm too tired of work, man. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna end it here. That's gonna be it for today's stream. Thanks to everyone who watched or watch until now. I hope you guys have a good rest of whenever it is for you now. Thank you for staying, Mahmoud. I still don't know what a gun is pointed on to your head. I still don't know who is doing it. But yeah, thank you so much for being here by complete your own desire without being pushed to do it. And yeah, for the people, whoever will watch, whatever, yeah, until next time, stay alive. Bye.